Well, hello there, Mark. Fancy meeting you here again.
Yeah, we seem to meet here pretty often, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And the reason we're here is because, hey, we're fixed to go into Memorial Day weekend. And some of these yahoos actually already took off and they're going to be off all the way through Memorial Day. Can you believe that? I'm not lucky enough to have that kind of time off.
Yeah, me either. We're going to be working this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you know what? Look at that sky out there. I mean, nothing but a few puffy clouds as you look around out here around the area. It doesn't look like there's any kind of weather. Uh, in fact, I'm beginning to think that we're going to go into a pretty good dry spell. I'm not too keen on what I'm starting to see in the pattern. What about you?
Yeah, the same thing. Looks like we're going to be starting to get dry, uh, and that's not really good. I mean, the farmers are just now coming out of a wet spell trying to get everything in the ground, but at the same time, it starts turning off dry. We do that so often here. We have wet springs and it gets dry during the summer. Hopefully, it won't be too dry.
Yeah, I think that right now we can stand some dry weather. It will go a while without us starting to hurt for moisture. The ground's still very moist, actually, but we want the farmers to get all their planting done. And I know the corn is just about finished on the planting, and probably by next week at this time it will be finished. So that's a good thing. And now all we have to have is make sure there's enough moisture for those seeds to germinate, and hopefully we get a good corn crop. I'm gonna look around the area here. We always try to look back here at UT Martin, and well, it's loading. There we go. Well, you know what? It looks like they've got a few more clouds around. See a little vertical development there. Is that could they be getting some showers in that vicinity?
They could see a stray shower or two, I would think, because it is a little warmer today than they had first thought. That cold front has taken its time moving through the area.
Yeah, I know when I got up this morning, it was much better feeling than what it was, but it got a little warmer as you got up into the morning because I went down and tried to finish get my gardening started well, and which I did. I managed to get it going pretty good, but yeah, right now they've got a temperature of 86.9 degrees. That's really right at 87. Of course, I don't know where their thermometer is, but that's pretty doggone warm, to be honest with you. The only good thing is the humidity is only at 36%.
Yeah, it's not too humid out. Our temperature up here in Kentucky is in the right in the low 80s, but the winds are out of the north to the northeast, so it promises to bring cooler air in. It's just taking its time getting in here.
And we are looking at getting some more cameras here for Western Kentucky because Kentucky's not represented in the camera world out there right now. So I know that there's a couple of entities that are looking at purchasing those cameras, and our technician here is actually trying to do a little work on that and see what we can come up with. But I'm going to look a little bit back here in Missouri just for the heck of it. We're looking at Essex, Missouri. They're at 88.3, so everybody's just about the same temperature. Humidity again at 39%. That's fairly dry. And if I look at that, the clouds there, they got just a few little scattered clouds around, but actually they look pretty good. And you might notice, and this is something that's going to be important in the coming days. See this little cloud back here is trying to develop vertically, but it's not. It's going to be into a cap, and I think we're about to get capped over the whole region. And basically, what that means, folks, is that a cap is where you have a layer of warm air, usually about the 5,000 foot level. And so when the air is rising and building up the clouds, it hits that warmer air that's the same temperature as air that's rising, so it quits rising. And that stops any shower, thunderstorm development. And you will not get rain when you have stuff like that. So, and they're saying that we are in the process of being capped, and you can kind of see it right here on the satellite. You look at this big wide area here. There's no clouds or anything there, and I suspect that's because there's some cap. And these clouds are probably associated with a low pressure area going around along the Gulf or something that's not going to affect us other than a few clouds coming in, but we certainly don't think that there'll be any rain or any showers with it. Let's look at the radar just for the heck of it. Here we go. Well, actually, remember those showers we were talking about? There is a little lone cell right here. I'm going to zoom into it. It's right between the peninsula there at the lakes. See, about to cross over Kentucky Lake, it looks like. And a couple other little shires off over around just below Cumberland City and just west of Indian Mound, Tennessee. Don't see, let's see what the movement is. Let me go ahead and put it in motion. They're moving away from us, Mark. They're moving to the southwest, from northeast to southwest, and that's because we're in that northeasterly flow of air right now, and that means that that cooler air is going to come on in here this evening. In fact, it's going to get a little chilly this evening. Mark is suffering, if you all don't know, from pollen effects. That's why he's coughing and sneezing and everything. But anyway.
Also, 3 grandchildren with colds.
Oh, well, that'll do it too. So, but yeah, you can see the direction those things are moving is not going to be much to them because it looks like they've developed about as far as they're going to develop. And that's, again, due to the cap. I see nothing really up to the north at all.
Those are probably along that old frontal boundary that's down to the south of us. And there's really not going to be much to them, just an afternoon, evening pop-up from time to time.
So if you have some outdoor plans coming up for the weekend, it's going to be a great time to be out there. I do want to encourage everybody because I'm fixing to give you a good update on fishing. I'm going to tell you all the secrets of where all the fish are. Actually, I'm not, but I'm going to tell you what the Fish and Wildlife says. But first, be sure and hit subscribe and like on this video if you do like it. And if you will subscribe to it, I would appreciate it because that does get our numbers up. And, YouTube looks at all those things. They want to say, well, how many subscribers have you got? How many viewers do you have? And that all goes into how they view our demographics and our all the different things that goes into making our YouTube channel successful. So anyway, without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead. Mark, do you want to know where some good fishing is? Are you going to try to fish?
I wish I had time to go fish. It would be a great weekend for it. But yeah, tell me about some good fishing spots.
All right, well, here we go. Take a look at this. If you want to go fishing but don't have a boat, don't worry. While boat anglers may have access to slightly larger variety of fish species, shore anglers can still find plenty of excellent places to fish along the banks of the area's lakes. This time of the year, bluegill continue to be aggressive in biting as they fan spawning beds in about 3 to 6 feet deep water. The dark adult males are really protecting spawning crater beds, which means great action for anyone tossing a cricket or redworm in their vicinity. Night crawlers also work well. There are still some nice-sized shellcrackers being taken, several of which are hitting the 1 pound plus mark, but big numbers of these fish have not been the normal. There's still another couple of weeks of bedding time left, so be sure to wet a hook while those feisty panfish are territorial and protecting their beds. The catfish bite is also doing well, with some nice stringers being caught from the typical rocky areas along the shorelines of Kentucky Lake. The spawning phases of catfish should keep a few fish shallow into early June when they start to pull away and head deeper. The channel cats will spawn around riprap banks and rocky areas. They are a social fish, so if one is caught, there's a good chance they'll have buddies nearby. My favorite way to catch channel catfish is to fish bait under a bobber just above the bottom and move it slightly but often. If a channel cat is present, it won't waste any time taking your bait. Bass fishermen have been beating the shallow grass beds and scoring decent catches from the shallow aquatic vegetation. Texas rig craws, lizards, and worms have worked, as have spinnerbaits and some topwater in the early morning and late afternoon hours. Scattered crappie have been taken by a few skilled anglers stalking structure. Scattered fish are lingering in the 9 to 14 foot depth range. It's a typical post-spawn pattern requiring fishermen to make a lot of stops in their attempts to find the numbers. The post-spawn crappie are moving every day, and schools of bait fish are the key to success. Find the bait, and you'll find the crappie. One last thing. Boating traffic is picking up out there, so please be careful. Many folks get wrapped up in watching the kids and grandkids having fun on a tube or on skis, and they don't pay enough attention to their surroundings. So use these lakes safely, regardless of our preferred choice of fun. Wear those protective floating devices. Well, Mark, those are some good safety tips, and I hope everyone is safe out there. Don't forget to wear those protective or flotation devices, life jackets, whatever it takes. Don't want to see anybody have their holiday spoiled by a tragedy, and be sure and be considerate of others on the lakes. Just take it and be nice out there. But it should be an enjoyable weekend. It's going to be kind of cool, I guess, isn't it?
Probably a little coolish. Overnight lows are going to be in the like low 50, or not low 50s, but middle to upper 50s, and the daytime highs will be in the upper 70s to low 80s. So it'll be a pleasant weekend. Water temperature over on the lakes is 76 degrees, so that's up a little bit thanks to all the sunshine we've been getting.
Okay. Yeah, the thing of it is, we're getting more storms. That'll help to push those up a little bit, really. So as that water warms up, it actually will help to increase those storms that come across the lakes. That is one of the effects that those lakes have on our weather.
Yeah, right now, though, looking out into next week, we probably aren't going to see a good chance for any rain till midweek or past.
Yeah, it's because that big cap, I think. Yeah, and we're in a blocking pattern. In other words, I'll explain to them what a blocking pattern is.
Okay, that just means that there's a low pressure on either end with a big high pressure ridge in the middle, and it just gets in a position where nothing wants to move. Everything's just kind of held still as far as the upper air patterns. And the lower air patterns, there may be some disturbances move along between the two low pressure areas across the top of the ridge of the high pressure, but really not much happens. And a lot of times you'll get kind of starved for moisture in that kind of a situation as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, the good thing is we don't have real strong high pressure. There is high pressure always, but the strong high pressure where it actually compresses air, that's why it's called high pressure, will heat things up quite a bit. We're going to get pretty warm, probably up to about 90 by the time we get into Thursday. That is a little too warm for my taste, but with that cap weakening, maybe we'll get a chance for some of those showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and probably afternoon and early evenings about the best chance. Typical early summer type weather. But I think there's still another cool down coming in the long run after we get past some of this. Just hope that we don't get trapped into that dry pattern. Dry patterns are hard to break once they get established, but I think right now we're okay. We'll just have to see how they play out. Why don't we take a look around the area at some of the live cams real quick. And there we are. This is out on the western bypass, I think, of Hopkinsville. And you'll see traffic is flowing really good. You see a little breeze. I think that breeze is out of the northwest right now. But it should change around into the northeast before it's all said and done. We'll get that northeasterly flow, which will help keep our humidity down. In fact, I don't see the humidity getting real high any this week, even with the warmer temperatures coming. Now, once we get towards Wednesday and that cap breaks, we may have a little bit of a increase in humidity. The dew points go up, which would give us some shower activity. And then, let's go over to I-24. This is all courtesy of WKDZ HVO weather cams. Or traffic cams. Well, weather cams. Yeah, that's what they are. And we can see over there, it looks pretty good as we watch traffic is flowing right along up on the interstate there, I-24. Right now it doesn't look like it's too heavy, but I can see where traffic will increase as we go into probably tomorrow, as we get into a busy travel day. So anyway, I think that's about all I've got, Mark. What do you think?
I think so. It's just going to be great weather. We're not going to have a lot of rain. Now, if you're putting in a garden, now's the time to get everything in the ground before we get more rain coming back in. And it should be fairly nice to do so. Should be a fantastic holiday weekend and a fantastic week. So get out and enjoy and be safe.
And thanks for reminding me about the garden. That's where I'm headed as soon as I get out of here. Okay, everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.